Men and women gather separately and together in non-scripted conversations over the topics at hand. The people and their responses are real. No telling what's gonna happen. It's his and hers. Let's jump in. We're live.
And welcome to the His and Her podcast, where tonight we have the men and the ladies, and we will always be answering from this cup. No, we have no idea what's inside. Rather interesting conversations we've had before. So we're going to go ahead and introduce ourselves and get right into it.
I'm Tasha.
I'm Rashawn. I'm Terry.
I'm Renee Unique.
And I'm Latoya. You want to pull first?
Okay, I guess I will do this.
It's a little nerve-wracking. Make sure you mix that cup up good, too, man.
Let me see. Watch how I get the worst one.
Get the best.
Okay, let's see. Do you want to be friends with your mate? We all kind of talked about this, I think. The women did. Do you want to be friends with your mate?
I guess I'll start this one. I think that, personally, I think that's the first thing you have to do. I think that if it's an actual serious relationship, okay, there's all kind of relationships. So when you talk about mate, you know, if it's the mate you just met and, you know, just spend a little time with, maybe the friend thing is fluid. But if it's your actual partner, then I think that's the first thing you got to do, because you got to figure out if you like somebody before you can be with somebody.
Mm-hmm. Okay, what about you, Nisha?
I think friends, just getting to know someone is always a good idea. I think friends is the best way of actually keeping that open communication and conversation, like Rashawn was saying, and getting to know someone. And yeah, so I agree. I think you should be friends.
Me, on the flip side, I want to know, do you tell your mate the things that you tell your friends?
Well,
No.
I think there's some
Or do you withhold the information?
I think there's some things you share with your partner and some things that you do share with your friends. Some of the things you share might be about your mate.
Facts.
Like when you just need to let it out, let it go. It's in a trusted environment within confidence with someone who really cares about you in your relationship. And I say that because sometimes we can share with our friends and family who don't really care about the relationship being upheld at the highest capacity. They could be just as damaging as whatever may be occurring. But if you really needed to let something out and really get a different perspective, I don't see anything wrong with sharing with one of your friends.
Then I believe sometimes telling too much, sometimes you want to keep your personal information, whatever's happening in the household should stay in the household, depending if it's some things that's going on, not to tell everybody and not to tell friends sometimes. I think that could hurt a relationship, you know.
What
That's my
about you,
point of view.
Terry?
Well, I would say a friend might been there longer than a mate. So I'm not going to tell the mate too much, because they can be a fair weather friend, and you done told them already too much. But a personal friend, there's nothing wrong with sharing information, but a mate, that might be questionable.
Okay.
Yeah, I was going to say, because, you know, I have been in relationships where the other partner, you know, that may go and run their mouth a little too much to the friends. Okay, and just telling all the business.
Right.
And that's
Right.
you know, that sometimes can be an issue. So I think that it's okay to ask questions, but sometimes it goes a little far. And, you know, when it comes down to it, especially when you're talking about being friends, sometimes you have to say, like, everybody has friends that do something that gets on your nerves. Then you just deal with it. You know why? Because they're your friends. So I think the same thing with your mate. You're not going to tell your mate everything you tell your friends, because you may go talk to the boys and say, man, it's, you know, that meatloaf she makes is terrible.
Right.
I eat it.
Yeah, right.
It's terrible.
Smile on my face.
I'm not
Baby,
gonna share that information.
Right, and it depends. Right, and it depends on what it is. You know, sometimes some people can't handle the truth, and it just depends on what it is. It really does.
Okay, who's next?
I guess I'll pull from a cup. Get your little strip out. I don't want the one hanging. It might be.
That's the setup.
That might be too much. Okay. I feel like this one might be. In the social media world, it is easy to pretend how your life is and who you are. How do you keep the real, and the truth? I can't fake it.
Me,
I don't.
I can't keep up a lie too long. And lies don't fold. And the truth shall be told. At the end of the day, social media does play a major role in our lives, very heavily in our lives. But my suggestion is just be who you are. Like, this is who you gonna get if you meet me in person versus if you were to go look at my lives and my podcast or whatever, you're gonna see that goofy, silly, same person on social media. Why? Because that's just who I am. I'm very passionate about what I talk about and what I do in life. So why shield that or pretend that it's something that it's not? I can't do that. That requires a certain level of energy and capacity that I do not want to engage in. So I say be real.
Right, and you know, social media, I feel that everybody shows their highlights. I'm like one of those people, I have a messed up day and I'll be like, yeah, I'm gonna need y'all to pray for a sister. You know what I'm saying? Just make sure you have that balance so that people know that everybody has ups and downs and you can get through anything. So.
Matter of fact, I think I posted once and you called me talking about, you all right? And I just shared with you what had happened with one of one of my students. So yeah, I say be real. And also, you never know who on social media is watching and genuinely cares about you in that way. So just because it says Facebook friend, we know everybody's not your friend on Facebook. Some people are just there for whatever reason, but you really do have genuine people who care and who may call and check in on you based on what they read and see. So if you're faking it, nobody can ever really check in on you at that more vulnerable level.
Right.
So okay, now I agree with everything that everybody just said, but let me just especially for the ladies. The biggest lie, women tell more lies on social media with them pictures and all them damn filters and them angles. Everybody won't take the you know the picture, the angle where here.
Because this is me.
You know what I'm saying?
Did you get that double chin? Okay, it is what it is. Go on.
Oh, you said they just highlighting pictures and stuff. They just basically just kind of Photoshop and crop it.
Absolutely. Like, is that like, how do y'all feel about that? Because I mean, that really and truly, especially with like Instagram and stuff like that, people's posting all these photos and videos, and you got all these filters that can literally do anything. You know what I mean? Like, isn't that line?
Well, men do too. They got these little bird bellies they be trying to crop, knowing damn well.
Women do it more. We got more filters.
Look, quit all the flexing and stuff and lying. Carrying on.
We got weave. You all got weave. I've seen those videos.
All that, I'm telling you.
Seen it all.
I told you I chose violence.
But you know.
Social media, it's like, to me, it's just too much. Like, if I didn't have a business, I really wouldn't be on social media, y'all. Like, it really is, it's a lot.
I know a lot of people that opt out, they just don't deal with it. But as you said, we're in business, so it's a part of the marketing and advertisement and branding and promotion and everything. So
social media is basically a gimmick. People don't know you from the inside personally, but they're gonna know you from what you post.
Right.
Yeah, that's true.
What's Facebook? It's kind of more negative and want to see fights, and we know that's not some people, but you put up more a positive post, you're still gonna get less likes.
Very true.
Always.
Very
Always.
Post less likes.
Always.
Anything that come to drama, 10,000 likes.
Yes.
Quick, fast, in a hurry.
Yeah.
Yes, it'll shoot up just.
Share.
It is.
Share.
That's the truth.
But he just told you something about how to be your best self. You're not gonna share that? Oh, okay.
Very true.
That's true.
Very true.
No, I mean, at the end of the day, I think the social media, you can use anything for good and for bad, you know, and I think that you have those oversharers, the ones that got up, made breakfast, now this is the pants that I'm going to wear, and now I'm going to, driving to the store, like, the oversharers.
I'm visualizing somebody right now, like, I mean, you have nothing else to do but to update us every 2 minutes.
So I think that you should definitely put positive out into the world. But I mean, I don't want to say it's all women and it's all a women thing, because the fellas do the same thing. With a lot of that, the pictures, and maybe not as much. I mean, 80% of the filters on Instagram is for the women. So
facts.
I'm just saying.
How would you know?
Facts.
Because you done went through all
I
of
done went through all the filters. I done went through all the filters. I'm like, girls filters.
Where's my smooth skin? Can I get some coloring of the gray?
Maybe I should add a D filter button. Where's the D filter button? Somebody needs to admit that, the D filter button.
That is so funny.
Okay, so one of the men pick a question.
I guess it's you. You made a noise.
I'm gonna pick some rice sticking out the top. I know it's not mine. I should find mine. Y'all lucky. Y'all real lucky.
He said he's choosing balance today.
Non-violence. Non-violence.
All right. The family component is the key to healing our communities. How do we get back to rebuilding our households?
Ooh, why is everybody so silent? That's a good question.
Go ahead. You're going to
I'll
start.
speak this one out first. This is 2022 almost. Most women is gonna have the stigma of they don't need a man. They got a good job, son, they just positive individuals, and why you need a man to bring you into my household so we can be married. A lot of women got a different change in life now. So to change that, that's still a good question. That's still a great question.
So what do you think needs to happen?
What needs to happen? That's. If I had the answer to that, I would. Probably.
Yeah, I want to add on to what you're saying. The other day I was watching, it was a study, something I was watching on TV, and they were talking about the new age woman, the business woman, the career minded woman, the professional woman, and how they were talking about how the dating scene has changed, and a lot of women, they see themselves independent. They can pretty much kind of take care of themselves, just like the man. But there was a lot of women on there. Even I was saying my thought and my opinion is that whether he's able to bring, whether he is able to bring the same thing that you can bring to the table, I think just having. Where we getting ready to go on break?
We will be right back with her comment, because it sounds like it's going to be good. Stay tuned.
That was a good cutoff.
Are you a poet for the people? Illuminating the emotions of those who know what suffering from an unjust system feels like. Everyone doesn't have the opportunity to hold a crowd by the ears, so for us to take on that role with our God-given craft, it's only right. Are you a poet for the people? A destiny meant not for the weak. We too have suffered trials and tribulations, experienced in rebuilding what was once torn down with the words that we speak.
Hi, my name is Renee Unique with Unite Louisville on the Plug Network Online. Check me out every Friday at noon on your lunch break. Stay connected and stay plugged in.
No Limit Cleaning. Your dirt is our business. Commercial cleaning. We educate people on compliance to get through the COVID crisis. Call us at 502-299-0714. No Limit Cleaning. Your dirt is our business. Again, that's 502-299-0714. Want your brand or business featured on The Plug? Advertise with us at plugnetworkonline.com. Again, advertise with us at plugnetworkonline.com. We got the eyes that are looking for you.
Changing Image Barbershop is your best choice for your family haircuts. Just off of Hikes Lane in the Bardstown Square Shopping Center. Changing Image Barbershop has lots of parking and plenty of seats inside with a great family environment where every customer is treated professionally and like family. They specialized in the newest styles and cuts. Changing Image is the best barbershop in the Ville. They now have a braider and over 15 barbers available to you. Call them at 502-907-0010 or visit them at 2251 Hikes Lane in the Bardstown Square Shopping Center.
No telling what's gonna happen. It's his and hers. Let's jump in.
Same one, because everybody can get there.
All right, so we're back, and we were talking about families, the structure of the black family and the household. And so I just wanted to put my input. I always just felt like, as a black woman, and we were always taught, our generation was always taught that we had, we had to stay strong. Whether, if a man was in a household or if you had a husband or a live-in, we were always taught, well, we had to maintain the household and take care of, the children, regardless. It doesn't matter if you're working 2 or 3 jobs, if if you're going to school or have a professional job. I think there's some needs that a man can fulfill that, that I want, that I'm not able to do myself. Whether that I'm independent or not, I still, we have an option. I think the traditional household now, you have, it's not a, things have changed. The traditional household, we look at it as a man and a woman. Now you have couples, you have women that are together, you have men that are together, you have grandmothers raising, the children, you have single father households. So what is traditional, the new norm, is what we have to get adjusted to, right? So that's how I kind of look at what is acceptable, what is okay for your household as far as the unconditional love. Does it make sense of what I'm saying? Because it's not traditional. A lot of us come from generations where it was a mother and a father, but times have changed. And I think just if you can put those morals and values back into the household, and a lot of men can step up to the plate, whether if it's a uncle, a brother, and somebody that's able to mentor a lot of these misguided young youth. That's what's going on right now. I think we just have to look at it at different dynamics. Times have changed, so we just have to keep up. The family households have changed. That's how I kind of look at it. I don't know.
What do you think?
Well, it was very beautiful, but for me, I believe men need to take their place as kings. You have a responsibility to the family to ensure that we are provided for. You have a responsibility to ensure that we are protected. The reason why there's been this era of women becoming so strong, and that's me, knowing that I was built strong. Like, I was built so strong that, a weak man, a regular man could get broken down. But I was built so strong because I watched my mother be so strong, right? So it isn't that I just picked it up and said one day I want to be this strong person. It was because I've watched my mother handle it all, do it all. And the question became, well, where is dad and what exactly does he do? So the perception became, well, I guess I don't need a man because mama did it all. I didn't know what daddy was doing behind the scenes. I didn't know that he was bringing home the money. I didn't know that he was. So there were things that were happening behind the scene that I, as a child, was not raised on knowing forefront. So one, communication has to happen. If we're going to be rebuilding our households, we need to learn how to talk to one another. We as women need to learn how to talk to men. Men need to learn how to talk to women. Brutal honesty isn't so sweet if it cuts the person and they bleed and they still don't get the message in order to change who and how they are. But you also got to learn how to listen to one another. I know that I'm learning how to listen better when it comes to hearing a man. I did not always grow up with my father in the home, so it's kind of foreign to me. I've been around women my whole life. I can hear them all day, every day. I can hear what they have to say, and I'm a woman myself. But when it comes to a man, it's a little different. Like, I'm literally training my brain, even to this day, to continue to listen and be more in tune with what a man is saying and how he feels and his perspective. Because again, if I was raised by a woman and all I've ever seen and heard were women, then my perspective in life, my perception of life is going to come from that. But fortunately, to have a partner who's like, I'm a man, I know this, I got this, we're good, to reassure me that I got this, we're good, I got you, we're good, to reassure, because again, that programming for life, where I'm in my 30s, I ain't gonna say how far in, but to have that long to have been on a pattern that has kind of helped with that breakdown with that family structure. And I know that with my children, I want there to be something different. I want them to have that family unit where we come together and we work together. And it isn't about gender roles, who does what. It's about who's better suited for the job. If you're better at handling the finances, well, let's put the money over in your direction so that you can handle the money, so that we can be better suited for life. If our goal is to build a legacy and live longevity, then let's have a plan. But that starts with communication, and it comes with men taking their place to run the home and not the streets.
I think that the key word for me is that this is the home in 2021 is dynamic. You know, there's just so many people doing so many different things that the thing that you talked about, communication, is key. But because things have gotten so dynamic, you know, you have these ladies out here that are absolutely amazing, doing awesome things, that are making their own way. And, you know, I think I spoke about this the last time, is that, you know, now, you know, these ladies are out here making it, you know, doing everything that it needs. But the problem is, especially where the communication breaks down, is because they do tend to build up that armor, and they do tend to have to be so aggressive because, you know, closed mouth don't get fed in the business world, that sometimes they bring that same energy to the crib. And that's not necessarily where that's needed in the house. And I think that is where things can fall short and things can get a little sideways. I've had a guy come to me, a good friend of mine, and he told me, he said, black women are dream killers. And he was dead serious.
I've heard
His
of
brother
that.
was broke down.
I've heard
because
that.
he just said that, I just feel like, you know, anytime I'm with a black woman, like she's always on my neck. She's always complaining. She don't support what I do, and she's just always has these expectations of me, and makes me feel like I'm a failure.
Ooh,
And you know what? And my
Jesus.
thing is, he shouldn't categorize all black women.
Absolutely.
Because all black women ain't like that. Because you better believe I support my king.
Yes.
I would support my king 100%, you know, as long as he's supporting me. But that's the way it is. I think this probably just a single, he can't say all.
Yeah,
You know, just a single. But I understand maybe the situation that he was in, maybe that she wasn't supporting him and she wasn't.
But it seemed like
let
he
me tell you,
encountered more
but
than
I'm gonna
one
tell
for
you
him
one
to
thing
say
about
that.
black women. No, look where
Yes.
look what the president was, who's sitting next to him,
Yeah.
a black woman. So all great men have great black women beside them. Okay.
Absolutely.
So I'm gonna tell you that right
I hear that. But so let me say this.
Okay.
I don't want to believe that I'm a dream killer, but I need to see you activating your dream. I don't want to hear you talk about what you're trying to do, but I don't see you walking the walk, talking the talk, activating that talk, making the phone calls, you know, putting in that grind. There are 24 hours in a day. And if I can count 18 of those that I'm putting in and you only putting in 7, but you talking about I want to build that dream, I'm not a dream killer. I'm just recognizing your bull crap. If you're serious about what it is that you want, then go get it, black man. It's America. The only person holding you back is you. Your prison is within your mind. So when you sit here and say, it's this, that's divisive to me. It's not about black, white. It isn't about anything other than your mentality. If what you want is to become something, then go get it. Go do it. If you say, you know what, I think I want to start a rap career, I'll be like, okay, I see what grade, you know, how old we are. I'll be like, so what you gonna do with it? I'm gonna start asking you questions because I know what God put inside of me. And if whatever it is that you want to chase after and do is what you really want to do, I got you. But if you ain't trying to do it, yeah, it would seem like I'm a dream killer. Because I'm going to ask you, I thought you said you wanted to be a rapper. So I thought you was going to go to the studio. So what happened to you standing on, she on my neck, she on my back. That's because you're not doing nothing. That's why she's on your back. She doing.
Let's not use rapper.
She's walking.
Let's not use
I know.
It's your inside over there. So we are not over there.
Okay, so you want to build your own, you want to build your own empire. You're tired of working for other people, because really that's the culture we're in now. You're tired of working for other people. You don't want to be a slave to the job anymore, the 9 to 5. You want to create your own freedom. Fine, that's great. But what is your plan, dear black man? What are you about to do, dear black man? What does that look like? So are you getting up early in the morning to put that together? Are you staying up late at night to ensure that that's taking place? because I see you, I hear you, and I will call you out if you're not making moves in the direction that you said. That's not a woman trying to squash your dreams. That's not a woman trying to hold you back or deny you access to the next level in your life. That's a woman holding you accountable for what you said you wanted. So if you want it, go get it. And if you don't want a woman holding you accountable, then obviously you don't want what you say you really want. So sit down.
So, but now let me ask you something, because this comes back to being a friend before you are a partner. So
There you go.
If you are a friend and you learn this person and you know who this person is, once you've made that decision that this is going to be my boo, this is going to be who I'm with, don't you have a responsibility once you've decided to be with this person to support them through, even if maybe they aren't moving at the speed in which you feel like he needs to. Like,
right, but if he's not producing, if he's not being productive in the moves that he is making, at what point do you say to him, what are you doing?
Yeah, no, that's fair. But okay, so then it's not about not saying it. How do you say it?
What are you doing?
Because you know, one of the things that I come from the customer service world, and I understand that
You know what
I'm saying? You can say the same thing 2 different ways and get 2 different feelings. You feel me?
Are you
exactly
KFC?
Exactly. Are you
Chick-fil-A or KFC?
There are certain establishments.
You're right.
I like
you're
both,
right.
but you
again,
know,
you gotta
one's
have
greasier
you
than
have
the
to
other.
have a plan. I think sometimes men don't have the plan fully developed within their mind. And one thing that I've learned dealing with boys and girls alike, I work with youth. Girls are more detailed than guys are. So if you're really trying to fulfill your dream and you have a partner, then why wouldn't you share with them and allow them to support you? Sometimes you all don't even allow your partner to fully invest in or to support you. I got it. I'm good.
Well,
you know,
1 minute to break.
I know, but I mean, it's the biggest thing of it though. Sometimes that's what it really boils down to. It goes back to communication. Are you communicating to me what your needs are? Yes or no? I can't support what I don't know. I can't develop the way my brain is wired. If you were to say to me, I want to be the CEO of a shoe company, I'm going to go to sleep and I'm going to wake up and I'm going to have ideas and I'm just going to listen to you tell me everything that you got going on. I'm going to be quiet because this isn't my dream. This is yours. But the point of it is, when you have a partner and you sit in silence with a partner, you don't know what God put inside of them. Your blessing can very well be inside of the person you're sitting next to right now, but because you're denying them access to what's within your mind and heart because of your trauma, what you've been through, you blocking your own blessing. Now we both getting blocked. But you know what? We're going to take a break right here because we need to hear from the both of you all in relation to, especially you. We need to hear some more about rebuilding the community. So we'll be right back after the break.
We too have suffered trials and tribulations, experienced in rebuilding what was once torn down with the words that we speak.
Hi, my name is Renee Unique with Unite Louisville on the Plug Network Online. Check me out every Friday at noon on your lunch break. Stay connected and stay plugged in.
No Limit Cleaning. Your dirt is our business. Commercial cleaning. We educate people on compliance to get through the COVID crisis. Call us at 502-299-0714. No Limit Cleaning. Your dirt is our business. Again, that's 502-299-0714. Want your brand or business featured on The Plug? Advertise with us at plugnetworkonline.com. Again, advertise with us at plugnetworkonline.com. We got the eyes that are looking for you.
Changing Image Barbershop is your best choice for your family haircuts. Just off of Hikes Lane in the Bardstown Square Shopping Center. Changing Image Barbershop has lots of parking and plenty of seats inside with a great family environment where every customer is treated professionally and like family. They specialized in the newest styles and cuts. Changing Image is the best barbershop in the Ville. They now have a braider and over 15 barbers available to you. Call them at 502-907-0010 or visit them at 2251 Hikes Lane in the Bardstown Square Shopping Center.
No telling what's gonna happen. It's his and hers. Let's jump in.
Welcome back to His and Hers podcast. This is Rashawn chiming back in because this is apparently a very good subject and everybody's excited about it. But no, I just wanted to just kind of, in my close to this specific question, is just to kind of talk about the communication aspect of it. My biggest thing that I've found is that where things fall apart, and when you talk about rebuilding the community, rebuilding the household, that's all based around organization and communication. And how we handle both of those things will get us a long way. And what I have found is that we, a lot of the time, spend a lot more time arguing because we don't know how to communicate with each other and properly organize our game plan. And I think that's the biggest thing that I would urge folks to work on. But I will concede the floor because I've kicked this bee's nest enough today.
What about you, Terry?
I haven't answered that question yet? Answer that question, okay. But let's go back to one thing, what Rashad said. It's not about, it's the communication. That's where it's definitely at. Just say, for instance, if a woman comes to you, to the man and said, this is her vision. But what is her vision? She might shun the man just because his vision doesn't capitalize in enough money. So what's going to happen? She's going to turn her vision off on whoever this significant party, mate, whatever, and then go for. This is what the generation is lead to now. I'm an old generation. But with that being said, you have to get back to the community of building households. Don't have kids with a woman you're not going to be with. That's for the younger generation. Because you want to build your family to another tradition and platform. And most time you're gonna have kids and this household is over here, this household is over there. That's gonna be rough for the generation. So just basically just understand who you're dating. Dating is a key. You gotta date before you do anything else. That's gonna build the first relationship to who you think your mate should be. And once you go through that process of dating, then get to know a person, you might not have what I have, but we can build this together. We can build this together. But it takes time. And if you don't find you a mate that understands the higher being in God, then that's not going to be your mate. Let's start off with that part of it. So you got family, God, and anything else that's under that. That's life. That starts God first. Then the building of relationships will go further than the person can dream.
Strong households make strong communities. You start at home, you build strong kids. Strong kids have, the stronger generation after that. But it all starts inside them four walls.
Very true.
Yeah. And when you see that the four walls as a villager of the community is crumbling or there is a need that needs to be met, rather than watch people suffer in silence, why not give support or help? There are things that my mother was able to provide, and then there were things my spiritual mother was able to provide. So between the two women, I received the wholeness of what I needed from a mother figure. There are a lot of children growing up without mothers or fathers for whatever reason, or they're in a adoptive process, or they're in foster care, so they're bouncing home to home. So when you recognize and you see these little seedlings in life, we got to be willing to pour into them the same as if they were a part of our family. We're all brothers and sisters under the same sun. It's just important for us to be aware of that and embrace that as a culture, rather than being so into ourselves so much that we ignore the needs and wants of those around us. So yeah.
I agree.
You pulling?
I just pulled. So
You did? Are you? Who is it? No, because you said you was going to find yours. No, thank you.
What's yours shaped like again? So we
No, we not
say
cheating.
like how was it crumbled up
In and out.
Reach to the bottom.
In and out. Towards the bottom. I got you. All right, here we go.
That's not it.
As a black man, do we carry too much weight on our shoulders, and why?
That's to y'all.
I was going to say, I guess it's going to stay on this side of the table.
Yeah.
I mean, we can always give our
I think
perspective
we
after
are.
the fact.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Go ahead, black man.
I think yes. And the biggest reason why is partly because of what we were talking about previously, is that not only are we expected to be the providers and to be successful and to have it together and have, you know, the house and have the ideal and be a great communicator, you also have to be able to learn and understand what the woman needs and meet her needs and be able to know when she's not having a good day and know what questions to ask, know what questions not to ask. Make sure we're not being, telling her that she may not want to put them jeans on or wear that outfit. Like, there's a lot on us. There's a lot of expectations. I feel like guys have to walk on the eggshells way more than what ladies do. I feel like ladies are in a very powerful position in the world right now, where y'all tend to get a lot more leeway and there's a lot less expectation on your shoulders than what the men have.
I don't want no man to lie to me. If I look crazy, if those pants are too tight and baggy, and my hair looks crazy, and my eyelashes fall, no. Because I represent, if we're together, I represent you, and I represent us. There's no way. And I definitely don't want to go out in public or somewhere and I look a hot mess. And he's like, oh, you look fine. No. Tell me, tell me, what do you think? And some women,
some people do.
No, well, they do have to, right? Well, but I don't know. To each his own. Everyone's different.
I need it. Okay, so much to be like. Okay, you're doing too much. Let me just get the tissue myself. I want that level of honesty, that level of friendship, that level of trust. Like we said previously, it goes back to friendship. I mean, what would your friends do for you? Girl, you better not go out with them on. You ain't okay, you right. That don't
right, exactly. Bring the mirror in here.
Exactly.
Something's not right.
Did you check yourself in the mirror? Right. No, why? Okay. I want that level of honesty when it comes to a relationship. You're absolutely right. You all do have a lot on your shoulders and we don't speak of it enough. We don't say it enough. As a black man in America, you were born black, you were born a man. So you're a black man, you have a target on your back from those on the outside, but then you have the pressures also from the inside. So I respect the black man for understanding what it is that you have to do. Thinking about our ancestors and where they came from and what has happened to us and where we are and how we received no interventions leading to where we are today. Yet the expectation is for you to have it all together, even though we didn't help you to do it, right? We need you to build your families back up, even though we haven't helped you to do it. So understanding that and wanting you to be your best self, that's why we as women have to have that same level of compassion and expectation of ourselves as well. There's absolutely nothing I expect of a man in my life that I wouldn't be willing to provide for him if he's in my life. If he loses his job, I want him to know I got us, whatever it is we got to do. Yeah, you're going to work really hard to try to get us together, but don't ever feel like you're by yourself. We had enough of that in our lives and in our history to where now we're in times where we need to learn how to come together and work together. You do have a lot of pressures on your back and it's not spoken of enough. But my question to you all is, what are you all doing to alleviate that pressure and to hold each other accountable for the building of the community?
I'll let you take this one first, sir.
That question could never be answered because a man is never enough time in the day to handle everything you need to handle for first and foremost. There's not enough time in the day. Because y'all women expect us to work, be the financer, and anything else that comes along with that. So our job is, the weight is just going to always be just too much. But then when you have God on your side, there's nothing you can't overcome when you understand what God is. So there's always going to be heartaches and heartbreaks, and the weight might seem a little bit stagnant at the time, but good days outweigh the bad days. But the weight is always going to be there from, especially a black man's standpoint.
So when the weight is there, okay, go ahead. I was going to ask a question.
So as far, it kind of brings back to exactly what we were all talking about. That first question is friendship, right? So if you have, and the mate, it seems like we're talking about the friendship, the home, and the mate. So this all kind of goes inside exactly what this question is asking. Because, and what you're saying, the weight, who's going to take off that weight at the end of the day? when you come home from work, when you're having issues and you have struggles, right? So whoever you live with in that household is the person that you confide in, right? So you confide in them. That's your friend. So if I feel a certain way and I have a heavy weight, especially as a black man, I done got pulled over today, honey. They had harassed me again. The boss at work is getting on my nerves. He done wrote me up again, knowing damn well you the only black man that works in that damn company. You know what I'm saying? So if you have a wife, you have a girlfriend, or you have, you know, someone in there you can talk to, that's who you rely on. That's your confidant. That's who pulls the weight off. If the husband or the father in the household, if he is the king of the household, so if the weight is off of you, then the family structure, then he has time to be that husband. He has that time to be that father. He has that time to spend extra time with, you know, the children and teach them things that he needs to teach them. So, you know, that's how I kind of look at it. You know, that's my opinion of it. And I think as black women, because we understand, I think that's the reason why when I always say, when there's a great man, there's a great woman behind him. And I feel like there's a reason why we have the kings and queens, and we have to live by that, because whoever your mate is, that's kingdom building, right? It's kingdom building. So, you know, that's what I feel.
Well, we're hearing two different titles in there, and I'm understanding. So some questions got to be asked in different titles. Are we talking mate, husband, wife, or friend? Those are all three different titles.
Right. They can all be in one.
It can all be in one?
I believe that.
A mate, true, facts.
Friend and a husband,
It takes time for all that to get to the husband standpoint, but starting off, those are three different titles that you're going to think differently on all three titles.
Right.
So let's dive back into it right after the break.
Oh, we got another break.
Yes. Right back after this.
We too have suffered trials and tribulations, experienced in rebuilding what was once torn down with the words that we speak.
Hi, my name is Renee Unique with Unite Louisville on the Plug Network Online. Check me out every Friday at noon on your lunch break. Stay connected and stay plugged in.
No Limit Cleaning. Your dirt is our business. Commercial cleaning. We educate people on compliance to get through the COVID crisis. Call us at 502-299-0714. No Limit Cleaning. Your dirt is our business. Again, that's 502-299-0714. Want your brand or business featured on The Plug? Advertise with us at plugnetworkonline.com. Again, advertise with us at plugnetworkonline.com. We got the eyes that are looking for you.
Changing Image Barbershop is your best choice for your family haircuts. Just off of Hikes Lane in the Bardstown Square Shopping Center. Changing Image Barbershop has lots of parking and plenty of seats inside with a great family environment where every customer is treated professionally and like family. They specialized in the newest styles and cuts. Changing Image is the best barbershop in the Ville. They now have a braider and over 15 barbers available to you. Call them at 502-907-0010 or visit them at 2251 Hikes Lane in the Bardstown Square Shopping Center.
No telling what's gonna happen. It's his and hers. Let's jump in.
Wow.
All right, and we are back from the break, and thank you for tuning in with us, Plug family. So it is my turn, and I picked out a question. Question is, does it matter who makes the most money in the house, and how does that show up in the relationship? Who would like to answer that first?
Me personally, I don't think it makes a difference. As long as we have the same, you know, we have a plan and we have the same goals and vision for our household and we're moving towards what we want, I don't think so.
Next.
You look like you want to say something, sir.
I will say this, is that I am fully supportive of, being able to have a woman that is well far and beyond anything that I'm doing in terms of gainful employment. I'm all about it. But one thing that I have seen is that a lot of times that, when that bread is coming in like that, words and comments can be made that, I'm doing this, I'm doing that, I'm making this, so you need to do this and that. And I think that anytime that you're utilizing, the money that you make as a weapon for an argument, or a weapon to show your superiority, or a weapon to get your way, that causes a lot of issues, and that causes a lot of resentment. So while I am definitely okay, I don't mind, hey, I'm all about the betterment of this household. So, the more money that comes into the collective, that's fine. But it needs to be a literal partnership. And I think that is one thing that it can be very difficult. Money is one of those things that, while, people say that money doesn't matter, and,
Not true.
it's all ours, and, it can easily become an issue. Yeah. So I think that it's just a very delicate situation, especially with men, because men tend to be extremely sensitive about that. Okay, they don't mind if their lady is making more money than they do, but they don't want you to speak on it, and they don't want to feel as if they're being made to be belittled or be smaller. So,
but I think where some of the argument might come in at would be where she may be making more, but then also because of his mindset in relation to the role of the woman, she comes home, she's also supposed to do a lot of the things at the house. So the weight is now all on her, or the majority of that weight is on her, and she's under a lot of pressure. That man is enjoying the benefits of that woman, but not necessarily helping when it comes to, you don't think it?
Go ahead, brother.
You don't think men
There's two uns over here. Why you looking at me?
Over here. While you as a man may say, I'm working in partnership with my woman, I have no problem with it. There are some men who, they may have a problem with her making more, but they're not really going out to do something to fulfill themselves in the ways that makes them feel more of a man in relations to what it is that she's doing. He may feel like, well, you need to cook, you should clean, you should do this, take care of the kids, you should do all of these things and make all of the money, but I just come home and I chill. Well, if that's what she's seeing, then how do you think she's feeling and taking that in? So when you speak about the argument standpoint of it, maybe, I'm not saying it is because I don't know what all households look like, but maybe one of the reasons those arguments come about is because, like you said, in your household partnership, as long as we're on the same page, we're good. Maybe they didn't even get on the same page before they entered that partnership about how money would be spent.
That was going to be my question.
Okay.
Is what if both of y'all are working 8 hours, 10-hour days, but brother man is working at, I don't know, let's say he's at White Castles. Okay.
White Castle's got
Let's say he's at White Castles.
White Castle got benefits better than some of these other places.
Wherever he's working somewhere else, a menial job, but both of y'all are working. He's working hard. He's busting his tail, but you're making triple what he is. And then he still has those expectations, but both of y'all are working hard, but you just tend to make a whole lot more. So then how do you feel about it then?
As far as him, I don't have a problem making more money than my partner.
Most women don't.
My only
Most women have a problem with it.
Anyway,
but my only issue is that it's the quality of man that stands next to me. It's not money. Money is a tool. Finances is just another divisive tool to keep us at odds and to keep us from doing what we spoke about previously, rebuilding the community. It's not about who's making more or who's doing more. We both need to pull up 100% to the table and say, this is what I can bring to the table. These are my strengths. These are my strengths. Okay, let's put our strengths together and let's build our empire. It's not about who's making more.
So what if he needs some of that money to help with that, start off that rap career?
Go for it.
Go for it.
Why not? You my partner. You my man.
Something right from the front.
Go for your dream,
Yeah.
but you need to have a plan. Don't just say, "Yo, babe, I need $1,000 so I can start my
You
rap."
said he already had the plan.
I need to see the plan in place. I need to see you activating that plan.
Does
Okay.
he have to do a presentation for you to give it?
No, he doesn't have to do a presentation. But if you're not putting, you should know your partner
I
well
want to see the
enough.
rap.
Real big.
Don't make talking about you won't be a rapper next day. Knowing damn well. No. Stand right there.
Like,
Let me
you don't
see.
have to do a full-blown business presentation, but like she said, you can't wake up and say, you know what, I think I want to do this thing. All right, well, go do it. Well, babe, do you mind if you just, well, wait a minute, this is your dream. So now I need to have a little bit more details in relations to it, because now it becomes risky at this point. If you're just waking up with the idea of doing something and we've been together for umpteen years and all of a sudden you want to go in a completely different direction, we need to have a conversation, because a lot of things dynamics are going to change. Work is going to change. Our livelihoods are going to change based on that thing that you're saying. And it's not even about if it's the man doing it or the woman, regardless of who. When it comes to finances, you have to have that conversation moving forward prior to. We need to be on the same page. If we have the same pot and we're on the same page, it doesn't matter who's making what, because we know what the end game is. We know what the goal is. And then you have to keep other people out of your business, because sometimes other people, because this is, honey, I can't be with no man who just saying he's not making more than me. Okay, girl. So what happens when he loses his job? He's gone? Are you telling me he's dispensable at this point? Because we have to. These are the kind of things that I question when I have conversations or listen to people, because it's crazy to me. It's asinine.
And most of those damn women are lying any damn way. Shit, they done took care of their boyfriends for years. It's lying. Don't believe that shit. No.
Don't do it.
They
you
lying.
gotta be whatever it is that you would want. My philosophy is whatever it is you want out of a person, be it on a job or in a relationship in a community, you got to be willing to give it yourself. And if you're not willing to give it, you can't expect it. That's foolish.
So the terminology that I grew up with is what women used to say: "What's mine's, no, what's his is what mine is his, and his is mine."
What's mine
is mine, and what is mine.
Yeah.
I mean, that philosophy is still out there.
I bet.
It's
It's
still
all
out there.
his. Y'all get all his. Y'all
What's
get
yours? I want it. That's a new philosophy.
50-50. Where's the 50-50? This is 2022. Women still do 50-50. 60-49.
I'm 50-50.
50-49.
50.
Ain't no 50-50 out here no more.
I believe that.
50-50.
I'm 50. Better ask me now.
Might be the
Pull
oldest.
up to the table.
I might be the oldest.
That's why they ringing my phone. 50. No, 50. 50.
I think it just goes down to what it is that you want out of life, what you and your partner wants out of life. Again, how you were raised and whether or not you were given the proper tools to have a meaningful relationship. Let's start there. We all have, well, I'm not going to say we all, but many of us have childhood trauma, things that have been presented in our lives that has caused hiccups in our lives that we may or may not be aware of, because that's one of the things I talk about on the Toy Box, our mental health, our personal wellness in relations to dealing with our past trauma. Because if we don't deal with that, it's going to show up in our lives, and it can become a tool that the enemy uses to divide us. Everybody wants to be considered a king and queen, but some of us out here acting like peasants. You don't even know the difference between the two. So because you don't even know the difference between the two, why? Because you wasn't taught. Daddy wasn't home, mama wasn't home, daddy issues, mama issues, whatever it is, whatever it boils down to, and you're not doing your work, this money situation just becomes another opportunity to prove you have work to do, because it shouldn't even get in the way. Like, if I love you and you mine and I'm yours and we ruling this world, I'm a queen, you a king, let's roll. Like, we going all the way to the top. I'm gonna go get my other stilettos so we can stand tall, firm, right? But that's my mindset when it comes to being in a relationship. So if you're not doing your work, then your mindset is going to demonstrate how much work is needed within that relationship, or how much work you've overcome within that relationship. So it really just boils down to individual needs and what it is you desire in relations to your relationship.
Do you have a responsibility to, if he's feeling some kind of way, if he feels like you threw your money in his face, or if he felt like he was less than because he comes to one of your events and feels like he's being talked down to, things of that nature, is it your responsibility to help him through that, and for you to kind of lift his ego up. Let's just
Yes,
say.
it is. It is. Yes, it is.
Should be.
Yes, it is. Yes, it
Speak.
is. It is our responsibility. It's not even a question about it.
What, to lift his
When he's
ego
in
up?
doubt, we need to talk about it and figure out why you're in doubt and what am I doing wrong.
And how can we get on the same page?
Yes.
Because I would never want my partner to feel any kind of way because of what I'm doing to have success in my life. And I know my partner wouldn't want the same for me. So that conversation, again, these questions just go full circle.
And
It goes back to communication. It is communication, organization, because if what I'm doing causes doubt within you, then maybe there's something you could be doing or you see me doing, you wish you were doing, and maybe you're afraid to have that conversation and come to me and be like, hey, what about? I mean, because I think one of the issues we do have is, it isn't that, I think we had the question last time we were together, it was listening, being able to listen. And the conversation I had was, it isn't that women don't want to listen to a man. It may be because she doesn't know how to listen to a man. So if I don't have the neural pathway within my mind, because daddy wasn't home, I got abandonment issues, whatever my trauma is, then I don't have enough clock hours for engaging with a man, talking to a man, hearing a man, listening to his perspective and his view, stroking him when, he feels low.
That's why they're acting
if all I ever had was this woman raise me to sit tall, sit pretty, don't worry about anybody else, we good, then that's going to be,
that's the way.
Okay. And that's how life is. So if you don't have that awareness, a lot of people are excited about knowledge, like I'm so smart. That's great. But what about understanding? Because knowledge without understanding means you don't have wisdom. And with wisdom comes that level of communication you were talking about earlier, that organization you were talking about earlier, that stroking of the ego that I'm learning how to do because I was not taught that. I'm just being honest. But I don't have a problem with it, because if that's what the need is, in order for us to be a team, I got you. And that's the mindset that we need to have when we consider ourselves to be kings and queens in a world where rebuilding the community is possible if we just do the work.
Right.
Conflict resolution.
And check me when you need to. Check me.
Please.
I mean,
Respectfully and
conflict
privately.
resolution. Being able to have a conflict and to be able to resolve it in a healthy manner. Because too many times, because we don't know how to express ourselves, all we do is end up yelling at each other, pissing each other off, calling each other all kind of names, storming out the house, and now here we go.
Yeah.
Over something that if we had simple conflict resolution skills that we worked on, could make things completely different.
Yeah.
Like I think that's what a lot of these things boils down to, is like, when they say, men are from Mars and women from Venus and we speak different languages.
We do.
It's a literal thing.
We do.
So I mean, taking that time to be able to figure each other out and not allowing ego, because it used to be that men had the big egos and women were supposed to sit at home and not have no ego at all. Okay, well now a lot of times two big egos in the crib.
Right.
Okay, so both of us have to be willing to set their egos to the side and work together.
Right, and give each other some space.
Period.
Time out.
That's
Some
it.
time out.
That's important.
I know me personally, when I get home after dealing with everything that I deal with, I don't want to be in charge of nothing. I don't want to be in charge of anything. You got it, okay, whatever.
It's good to feel.
Yes.
It really is, especially when we already have a heavy load throughout the day, and a woman comes home and gosh, what, dinner, what, house clean, what? Oh, okay, this and all that. That's like luxury, and that's free. Doesn't cost a thing.
Just a little bit of your time and service.
Okay, well, it's break time again, huh? Is this the
That was the end of it. We didn't get to your question, sir.
Man,
The best one is
I wish I'd tell y'all what it is, but we'll have to save that for whenever this comes back.
Okay, well, we'll see you guys next time.
Peace.
Peace.
We too have suffered trials and tribulations, experienced in rebuilding what was once torn down with the words that we speak.
Hi, my name is Renee Unique with Unite Louisville on the Plug Network Online. Check me out every Friday at noon on your lunch break. Stay connected and stay plugged in.
No Limit Cleaning, Your dirt is our business. Commercial cleaning. We educate people on compliance to get through the COVID crisis. Call us at 502-299-0714. No Limit Cleaning. Your dirt is our business. Again, that's 502-299-0714. Want your brand or business featured on The Plug? Advertise with us at plugnetworkonline.com. Again, advertise with us at plugnetworkonline.com. We got the eyes that are looking for you.
Changing Image Barbershop is your best choice for your family haircuts. Just off of Hikes Lane in the Bardstown Square Shopping Center. Changing Image Barbershop has lots of parking and plenty of seats inside with a great family environment where every customer is treated professionally and like family. They specialized in the newest styles and cuts. Changing Image is the best barbershop in the Ville. They now have a braider and over 15 barbers available to you. Call them at 502-907-0010 or visit them at 2251 Hikes Lane in the Bardstown Square Shopping Center.
No telling what's gonna happen. It's his and hers. Let's jump in.